We're concerned about it because we see it as a totally needless restriction. We, for a long time, have had a very good relationship with CMA Canada. And we have mutual recognition agreements, all sorts of reciprocal arrangements. And to find that the provincial CIMA Ontario has gone in a completely different direction, we find extremely disappointing. We feel that by its very nature, management accounting is a profession without global boundaries. There are no geographic boundaries to what we do. Management accounting techniques are the same in Canada, in Sri Lanka. They'd be the same on the moon if you stop and think about what they're about. And to find that what appears to be a form of protectionism creeping in, I'm always worried about protectionism in any environment. I think it's always been one of the challenges ever since the global downturn to discourage protectionism in order to defend what you think is your home market. I don't believe it's sustainable. I don't think it's in the long-term interests of members. And I can't really see how it is going, if it is intended to protect the public from unregulated sources of skill. We have very strict codes of conduct. Every member signs up to it, and people who deviate from it can be disciplined, and that can happen to anyone anywhere in the world. So to be told, well, we don't think that that's the right thing in Toronto or in Ontario, we find very disappointing. We feel that it's curious enough, it's really not the game of cricket which we believe as management accountants we should be playing.
What I don't seem to understand, though, is what is it really trying to do relative to the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants?
What it's doing, from our perspective, what it's doing is preventing our members from working in Ontario. They cannot describe themselves as chartered management accountants in Ontario unless they are members of CMA Canada. And I think if you look at the origins as I understand them, of the bill, it was intended to ensure that people were not taking advice from unregulated accountants. Regulation in audit is a very different animal from regulation in management accounting. In audit, you've got to ensure the rules are followed so that you don't break the law. In management accounting, there are no laws because we are not there to enforce the law. We're there to support the business in being an effective business.
What do you plan, if anything at all, CIMA Canada? What do you plan to do?
We are lobbying quite strongly at the moment. CIMA, the chief executive of CIMA, attended the hearings a few weeks ago to discuss the whole question. We are very actively involved in lobbying from London, as well as working with our colleagues here. So it's not a matter which is just being left to the hands of the local CIMA membership. It is on the radar of CIMA Global, because we believe that it's something that shouldn't be happening, and we're very keen to ensure it doesn't happen anywhere else.
So there's obviously some politics creeping into the cricket right now.
I'm afraid there always are. You can't get away from it.
But putting that aside, how long are you going to be here for, George?
I leave on Monday afternoon, back to London.
Back to London,
and then I have.
What's in store for the new Global President?
I've actually got 2 days to do of my day job because I've still got a full-time job as well as doing this. So I've got 2 days at the day job, followed by 3 days council meetings at CIMA. But then I'm off to Sri Lanka for 2 days. In August, I have 2 weeks in Zambia and South Africa.
More cricket, or just
No. Unfortunately, this is rather more serious. It's accounting conferences and meeting various important stakeholders. But if I can sneak a bit of sport in, I will. You know, one always does. And I think if I look at the program over the year, I think I'm going to acquire a lot more air miles than I need.
Well, your tenure has just started, you know, and so you've got a couple of years, I think.
Just 1 year.
Just one.
1 year.
Oh, just
yes,
one.
Yes, squeeze it all in a year.
You've got to do it in a year.
Yeah.
Well, you've got to live it up. you know, enjoy your stay here. Come back and see us again.
I will.
I know we've been accustomed to, in the last number of years, to having, you know, somebody in your office come visit with us during the time of the CIMA Canada Mayor's Cup, and it's always a pleasure to meet, you know, people from the global environment. And it's a wonderful festival, as we've already said that. Great work done by the local people here, CIMA Canada. And we just, you know, hope we can go from strength to strength. The Cricket Across the Pond initiative, we've talked about it. Talked about that. It's a wonderful initiative. And we just hope that we can go on from strength to strength. It's a pleasure chatting with you. It's good to have you here. And I believe the current deputy is also here with you.
He's here, yes, so that he can step into my shoes next year. He can watch me get it wrong this year and get it right next year.
Well, George Glass, thank you very much for coming into the studios and talking to us about the CIMA Mayor's Trophy game and Cricket Across the Pond, and you're telling us your views about Bill 158. It's a busy time for the city. It's a fun time for CIMA Canada. Enjoy the weekend, enjoy the games.
Thanks very much, Canty. Thank you.
We've been chatting with George Glass, the Global President of CIMA, the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants.